Okay, so here we are on the home stretch, just ready to put a roof on this thing. As you can see, I've cut down the end posts on either end side of the bins to about fence height. And it's hard to tell here, but I have cut the center posts as well for a single sloping shed roof, just a slight slope from back to front, so that I can put one gutter section on the front that will feed into a rain barrel. So let's take a look and see how it went together.
Hi, I'm Brian.
Okay, so here's the basic layout of the Humanure Hacienda roof. There's my 4 posts in the center. Here's my end post and post down there, but my 4 tall posts in the center. And I've just got 2 what I'll call rafters, I guess, and then the rest purlins. Those might not be the appropriate terms in this application, but it's as close as I can get, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm using 2x4s for the rafters and for the purlins. I read that 1x material can sometimes not be enough for the purlins in high winds, so I'm going a little beefier on the purlins. But the sheet metal will just sit on top of this. I've got the sheet metal sitting over here. It'll be basically in that layout there. There's 4 pieces of it that overlap slightly. They should sit right on top of here. The only real work I had to do here was to get the pieces the right lengths so that the sheet metal would fit appropriately. It's easier to cut the wood than the metal, so I can make this roof pretty much any size I want, so because it's just hanging over the posts. So I chose a size that would basically leave me 2 inches of hangover on all edges with those panels, and I don't have to cut them that way. So I don't have to cut the metal. All I had to do was cut the wood to be the right size. So I believe I've got everything cut to the right lengths. It's just clamped in place now. You see double boards on the ends. I'll try and point out double boards here and down the end. There's actually one of these boards is going to kind of come over and be, I guess you'd call it a fascia. Not so important on the back here, but on the front, that's the low portion. That's where the gutter will go. So you need that board in the front kind of to attach the gutter. So there'll be a board across the front and a board across the back, and the rest of those boards will be laying flat and they'll be purlins. So now it's just time to attach it. Okay, here we are next morning. It got a little windy last night and dark. So I didn't want to put the metal panels up in the wind or the dark. So here everything is attached, the purlins and the fascia, I think I would call it. It's pretty sturdy. Should be sturdy enough for this. We're about 7x7, maybe slightly longer. So it's about 50 square feet here of surface collection, rain collection. So there's the first metal panel just sitting there. I haven't attached it yet or anything, but I'm going to lay all 4 up there, just make sure they fit right, but they should, because I've cut these to length so that I should have about a 2-inch hangover on every edge. So I'm just going to lay them up there first and then screw them down. So here's one final look at the finished product, now truly finished. I've got the rain barrel up on a stand. I've got the gutter on the front of the roof section here, and I've even run the gutter into the top of the rain barrel. I cut a hole in the lid. The lid locks down. So there we go. We've got it covered here, plugged, and we've got a spigot at the bottom, so should we be able to access all the water. If we get a little sediment in the bottom, that's okay, because this is just really for cleaning out buckets and water the compost here. And this back, I've been doing a little research on these barrels. This back tube is meant for overflow. So I take that back. This back tube is actually meant for intake, which is why you wouldn't have to normally cut a hole in the lid. But because of the, having to make a connection from the gutter downspout to this intake, I'd have to have done some sort of transition from this to PVC. I basically have made this the overflow now, and it does fit actually a 1-inch diameter PVC tubing. So out of all the rain barrels that I'm doing, of which there's one more over there, which I've cut a lid in, and I've got a gutter section, and that one still needs a gutter section actually over there on the shed. But I'm going to treat this as overflow, and I'll just feed it via PVC to whatever area I want, whether that be the base of a tree or something like that. So that is the true finished product right there of our Humanure Hacienda with roof, gutter, and rain barrel collection, ready to rinse buckets at that water and add water to the compost, which we've found that we need to do fairly often. So there it is, all done. On to the next one. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you found something useful or interesting in there. I know I learned a couple of things on this small build that I'll take forward to some larger projects in the future. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you know anybody interested in this kind of stuff, go ahead and share it with them. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. We'd love to see you back. And go ahead and comment with any suggestions or questions down in the comment section down below. We respond to pretty much all of them, and we use that as a way to learn some things and for some others to learn some things. Or you can just say hi if you want. Other than that, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.